Welcome. Today I'm going to be discussing 8 things that work for me, but that are rather unconventional. So, number one, I retired when I was 55. I'm actually going to do a more detailed video about this next week, but um, I didn't retire because I was a millionaire and because I didn't need to work anymore. I retired for other reasons and I made it work. So um, that's number one. Number two, I cut my own hair. And I've mentioned that before. And I also don't color it, which is pretty obvious. I did color it for a while in my 30s when I started. I had this really cool pattern. It was like just in the front of my head. Um, and I didn't want it, so I would color it. And in a week, it would come back. So finally, someone I worked with said, "Why don't you just stop coloring it?" And so I did, and I never looked back. So, number three, I buy the overwhelming majority of my clothing at thrift shops. And that does not include underpinnings, and it includes some shoes, but not all of them. So basically, what I'm talking about is tops, bottoms, and jackets and coats. But I haven't bought anything new in tops, bottoms, jackets, or coats from a regular store in a, a while, a long while. And that is for a couple of reasons. In no particular order, I don't really find anything that I love enough to buy brand new. If I did, I might. But then there's also the benefits of the ultra low cost at a thrift shop. And the other thing is that I feel like in my small way, I'm doing my part in reducing the number of clothes that needs to be made. So therefore, reducing waste, reducing all the things that go into making clothes. Yeah, it that could be a whole other video, and I'm not really an expert enough to talk about it, but all the resources required to make new clothes and all the waste that is involved. So that is number three, buying most of my clothes at thrift shops. Number four, I do not drive a fancy car. I think I've mentioned this before. I lease a car because it just works for me specifically because I don't drive a whole lot and I get a new car every 3 years. But I drive a very small, practical, basic car. Number five, throwing out food gives me hives. So I'm adding that to my list because I basically plan meals around not wasting food. It just makes me very uncomfortable to throw away decent food because I just think of all the people involved in the people and the other resources involved in making that food, and I can't stomach it just throwing it out. I don't like waste. I don't like to waste anything, especially food. Number six, I love my local library. I happen to live in a town that has an amazing library. And of course, that library is part of a network, a huge network of libraries, so I can get just about any book that I am interested in reading. And they also have other forms of media that can be borrowed. And I like it because I can read any book I want and it's free. I do buy books sometimes. If I read a book from the library and I think I will want to read it again, or I want to highlight things in it, or I think I'm going to refer to it frequently, I will buy it. But my personal library is not enormous because I borrow the majority of books that I read and then I return them. Libraries are amazing. Libraries are, I, I love libraries. Public libraries, they're amazing. They have so many resources, so many. Number 7, I am a vegetarian, and that is, uh, I try not to make that inconvenient for people. It's tricky. I always make sure that I have something to eat. I never, like, I'm telling you because I'm making a list of things that work for me that are considered unconventional, but I generally don't tell people because I don't want them to change whatever they're planning to do. I always make sure that I'm all set. The reason why is because I am concerned with how animals are treated. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And the last thing, number 8, is I don't eat dinner. I'm just noticing that 3 of these 8 things are about food, but we need food to live. And I have, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to do a video on my issues with food. I need a little while to work up to that because I'm not really sure what my issues are, but I know I have issues. So I don't eat dinner because my body feels better when I stop eating early in the day, and that's really it. There's really no other reason. I am always trying to keep my weight at a healthy within a healthy range, and that I feel like that does help only because I stop eating at a early in the day. So I can eat a lot of I can eat a lot like I eat all the calories of a normal person, but I stop at a certain time, and it's it's I think it does help me keep my weight within a certain range, but the main reason why I do it is just because I feel better. So a lot of people call that intermittent fasting. I guess that's technically what it is because I don't start eating until about 8 in the morning and then I stop around 2 in the afternoon. Which, and if we're going out to dinner with friends or something like that, then I have something to eat. But I it always takes me longer to fall asleep. Sometimes I don't sleep as well because my body just would rather have more of an empty stomach when I lay down and go to sleep. So these are the 8 things, the current things that I do that work for me that may seem rather unconventional, but I do them because they help me to feel well and feel good and feel happy. So thanks for listening, and I will see you very soon. Sending you love. Take care.